TJ Pine Valley Place versus Evan Strupp. Attorney Meg Bauer is here from legal aid on behalf of Mr. Strupp, who is not present. Attorney Pamela Amato is here on behalf of Pine Valley Place. The manager from Pine Valley Place, Ashley, is also present, and Susan Brenneman of the pest control company that has been dealing with this apartment for several years, and Mr. Mike Hayden, who is the fire chief for the village of Constantine and a zoning enforcement officer, is also present. I believe he's the one that's condemned these premises. Mr. Strupp's caseworker from Pivotal is also present. Would you state your name, please?
Farley, Farley.
When we were here January 23rd, we continued the matter for trial today. I was hopeful the matter would be resolved in that. I was hopeful that they would find a place for Mr. Strupp to go. At that time, he was quite ill. He was taken, I think, by ambulance within a day or two of the hearing, and he was, I believe, in intensive care. So the matter was continued for a trial for today regarding the termination of the tenancy. I indicated I did not know his medical status. I didn't know his pickup status. I didn't know his other status. I'm not sure. I don't remember can't read my own notes. Pine Valley Place now has a new owner. And since we originally started this case a long time ago, the property has been condemned. Plaintiff has provided 144 pages of documentation, including a number of photographs regarding the current condition of the property. Ms. Farley, would you come up and have a seat with Ms. Bauer? Ms. Farley, what's Mr. Strupp's present location?
He is at his apartment on Canaris.
In violation of the condemnation order?
Objection, Your Honor. That's illegal. That's asking for
all
legal
right. Well, Officer Hayden, the condemnation order remains in effect.
Yes, it's posted as uninhabitable.
All right. The attorneys have been working on this. I'll defer to you, Ms. Bauer. What's our current status?
First, Judge, the defense has to move for a motion for summary disposition pursuant to MCR 2.116 C8 and 10. The plaintiff admitted at the last hearing that it had sold the property. That property was sold. The transfer of interest was complete prior to the initiation of the case. Therefore, TJ Pine Valley Place is not entitled to an order of possession. A substitution of parties is inappropriate in this matter because the transfer or change of interest occurred prior to the initiation of the case documents. That means this is a question of standing, and standing means this is a question of the real party of interest. This is no different than the cases that come through all the time. Guy leases his house out to people, transfers his house to his sister, who then can evict the tenants? The answer to that question is the sister can evict the tenants and not the brother. In this case, Pine Valley Place is the brother, and LGMI5 LDHA LLC is the sister. There is no dispute that the property was sold, so judgment as a matter of law is proper in favor of the defendant. Or stated from another angle, the plaintiff has failed to state a claim on which relief can be granted because the plaintiff, TJ Pine Valley Place, is not entitled to an order of possession or relief, which it is requesting from Your Honor.
All right, now, there's no evidence in this. There's representations made. I haven't seen any documents regarding the sale. I don't know if there's any stipulation of facts. Ms. Amato, what's your position regarding defendant's motion for summary disposition?
Your Honor, I would sincerely argue against that. We have been retained by TJ Pine to represent the entity. Whether that is owned by another company or not, we are representing TJ Pine, and it is TJ Pine that is asking for an eviction of Mr. Strupp. And all the claims that were initiated under the prior owner are still in full force and effect.
All right, the plaintiff is PJ Pine Valley Place. Pamela Amato was retained by PJ Pine Valley Place Apartments. They're the plaintiff. The lease that was entered into in August of 2025.
Wait, you have a lease from 2025?
I'm looking at. March 19th, no, that's not the lease violation.
The most current lease that Attorney Amato and I discussed was from 2014.
That's the lease under
That
which
is not-
he. Go ahead, Ms. Amato.
Thank you, Your Honor. I was just going to say that is the lease under which he first acquired tenancy. That is not the most current lease.
Oh, I'm having trouble with my on base. The lease I have is 2/25/25. And this plaintiff is the holder of that lease and are proceeding accordingly on behalf of Team J Pine Valley Place. So defendant's motion for summary disposition is denied.
Your Honor, might I see that lease? If it was not provided in the exhibit packet?
It's in the file. It's filed December 12th, 2025. So I find that Ms. Amato has standing to represent TJ Pine Valley Place.
Not a 2025 lease.
So there's addendums that were signed.
That's not a lease.
These addendums were signed.
One of them is a repayment agreement.
Well, whatever the lease is, this lease is 6/10/24. There's so many things in here. The original lease is 6/10/24. They hold it.
6/10/14.
6/10/14, thank you. The addendums were signed in February of 2025, but that she's correct. That's not the lease. They hold the lease. And he's in there in violation of my order that's been condemned. I'm not very happy about it. So this property is just in very poor condition. So we've denied the motion for summary disposition. So where does that leave us? Plaintiffs ready to proceed with their proofs?
For purposes of
Yes, Your Honor, we are.
record.
Yes,
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was.
go ahead.
The defense objects to the use of video conferencing for this bench trial. There's a presumption and procedure against bench trials under Michigan Court Rule 2.408 sub A 2, there are factors the court may consider when allowing virtual testimony in various capacities. Under the factors in subparagraphs 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, and 11, the defense objects to proceeding remotely. Factor 3 concerns the relative importance of the witnesses, and in this case, it appears as though the property manager and the pest control company are of high importance, so their testimony in person, that factor leans in favor of testimony in person. Factor under subparagraph 4, the opportunity for a full and effective cross-examination. Some of these exhibits are approaching 50 pages, and the witnesses are the high important witnesses. Many of them are virtual, so the ability for Mr. Strupp to have proper effective cross-examination of the witness is compromised. Factor 5 is undermining the integrity, fairness, and effectiveness of the proceedings. The defense argues that this factor weighs in their favor as well, because as exhibited by how much time we just spent looking for the lease and which lease is at issue, it's very hard to undertake a virtual hearing and understand with certainty that the parties are looking at all of the same pages. Under subparagraph 6, a factor to consider is whether a defendant's physical liberty or a fundamental interest is at issue in the case. And this is a civil procedure rule. I would argue that there is nothing more fundamental about Mr. Strupp's physical liberty to and interest to live in housing and to not be homeless. Under subfactor 10, or factor 10, the defense has not waived or stipulated to virtual testimony, and we have reiterated this position multiple times. And under subfactor 11, I'm sorry, Judge, I can't read my handwriting, but
Well,
I know what your ruling is going to be.
The ruling is denied. Mr. Strupp isn't even here himself, and I haven't given an explanation for why he's not here. He wasn't excused by the court, but you don't have to come as a defendant in a civil case if your attorney appears on your behalf. It's not the same as a criminal case. But it's great expense and inconvenience to all these parties to come here. We've been here, I don't know, 12 times. I'm the finder of fact. I believe I can make those fact findings virtually from the testimony of the witness. Chief Hayden is here personally. Manager, I can see her clearly. The pest control company has had to suspend their operations for the day to be here present for this hearing. And your motion is preserved on the record, but it is denied also.
Thank you.
Any other motions?
No, Judge.
Ms. Amato, are you ready to proceed?
I am, Your Honor. Thank you.
Let's start with Chief Hayden.
Judge,
Yes,
do we get to do opening statements?
I guess so. Ms. Amato, do you wish to make an opening statement?
No, Your Honor, we've already spent an hour and a half of the court's time marking exhibits and hearing motions. I would rather just do a closing and proceed. Thank you.
All right, opening from the defense.
I suppose before I proceed, we should have said, I did stipulate in the interest of the court's time and efficiency. I stipulated to the admission of the plaintiff's proposed exhibits 1, 3 through 7, and 3 through 8. Attorney Amato, I'll stipulate to exhibit 8. It's fine.
Thank you.
The only unstipulated proposed exhibit is exhibit 2. Now, you don't know which ones we're talking about, but I did attempt to respect the court's time.
Laura, we're having a trial, so I guess you better come. All right, any further opening statement?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. The question before you today is, has defendant's conduct given the plaintiff just cause to terminate his tenancy? Good and just cause for this particular type of regulated housing is codified at 7 CFR 3560.159, subparagraph A to I, specifically actions by the tenant which disrupt the livability of the housing, threatening health and safety. The keyword there being actions by the tenant. So the question is, has the defendant's conduct given the plaintiff just cause, or is the plaintiff looking for a scapegoat, looking to scapegoat an easy, vulnerable target for its ongoing neglect to keep its premises fit and habitable under the covenants of the law? As you listen to testimony, you will hear different types of treatment conflated with each other. You will hear testimony about routine inspections from the pest control company. You will also hear about specific units being testified to. You will hear testimony about days to weeks going between tenants reporting bed bugs issues and treatment and spray or other appropriate treatment actually being administered. You will hear inconsistent protocols for treatment, whether that be protocol on behalf of the landlord or protocol on behalf of the pest control company. So you will hear inconsistent decisions about when the company is to bring a dog out to inspect the unit and why. You will hear inconsistent testimony about which units were steam treated and when and why. You will hear a glassing over of the treatment done at the adjacent units to Mr. Strupp's apartment. You will hear testimony from his care team that he has had this issue for 5 years without abatement, to the extent that his care team has been unable to access his apartment and mitigate some of the issues that Officer Hayden is going to testify to. You will hear that Officer Hayden's orders were not eviction orders, but were remediable, and that the plaintiff did not take opportunity to fix those units when it could. You will hear that there has been no regular action to address normal wear and tear. The pest control company is going to testify to where they administered treatment in different units. And you will see inconsistency between Mr. Strupp's unit and other units in what is treated. You will hear that Mr. Strupp complied with treatment. And the test before you is what actions by the tenant give the landlord just cause to terminate his tenancy. In this case, Mr. Strupp has acted and his care team has acted. You will hear that they facilitated a heat treatment in his unit. You will hear that they removed his belongings. You will hear that he has not reintroduced the bugs. Rather, the pest control company and the management company and plaintiff failed to properly and fully treat those bugs under those circumstances. You should ask yourself, when they treated his, while you're listening to the testimony, when did they treat the vents in his unit? You should ask yourself if they sprayed the crown molding in his unit when they did in other units. You should ask yourself what they've done about the carpet in the unit, and if that is where there was an issue. And you will see there's contradiction between how the units surrounding Mr. Strupp's apartment were treated and inspected before and after his heat treatment. If Mr. Strupp did not reintroduce these bugs, then the plaintiff does not have cause to terminate him. If he complied with the treatment and he did not reintroduce the bugs, which the evidence you will hear today will show, then Mr. Strupp is not the menace. The neglect of KMG Property Management Group and the ball shuffling, the shell game of the management company and the pest control company are the real menace on this property, and the real reason that property continues to be condemned. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Amato, I'm not so much interested in the last 5 years of pest bug treatment, and I've heard much of this. I'm interested in the current condition of these premises that caused them to be condemned. Chief Hayden, would you come forward and be sworn, or you already are sworn, but I'll swear you again. You swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief.
I do.
Would you state your name for the record, please?
Michael Hayden, Haydon.
Mr. Hayden, what's your occupation?
I'm the ordinance officer for the Village of Constantine. I'm also the fire chief and the rental inspector.
All right. You also do zoning enforcement for other jurisdictions?
Yes.
How long have you been in the fire service?
33 years.
Ms. Amato, you may inquire.
Thank you. Mr. Hayden, what do you do for the city? What are your jobs?
I am the village ordinance enforcement officer, rental inspector, and also serve as the fire chief.
And you are familiar with Mr. Kevin Strupp?
Yes,
And you have been to his apartment?
yes, I have.
And were you at his apartment on September 11th of 2025?
Yes, I was.
And you had an opportunity to observe that apartment inside?
Yes, I did.
And did you prepare a report?
I did a post-inspection report, yes.
Your Honor, I would like to move for admission of Plaintiff's Exhibit 1, and this has been stipulated to by Ms. Bauer. It is the inspection report.
Yes, and this is where her objection has some merit to it, because where is Exhibit 1?
It's probably out of order right now. It's titled Village of Constantine Post Inspection Report dated September 11th,
Dated September 11th
2025.
of 2025.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Attorney Amato, you proposed that to me and I stipulated to that as exhibit number 4. So,
Right.
or is that the number 4 that we discussed?
Yes, that is the number 4 we discussed.
All right, we'll call it plaintiff's exhibit number 4.
Oh, thank you, Judge. I have to remember.
All right, and
That's
we're not
helpful.
here
Thank
to
you, Your
mark it, and that's why it's difficult, because this is cumbersome without you being here. All right.
This document is 2 pages.
Just a
Attorney
minute.
Amato?
That's correct.
Did I?
All right, here it is on the screen. Plaintiff's not here to show it to you. It's kind of constrained in this amount of space, but is that it? Your Village of Constantine post-inspection report dated September 11th of 2025?
Yes.
And you have it in front of you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. What, all right, you may inquire.
Thank you. Mr. Hayden, looking at that document, what can you tell us that you observed and what you noted on that day when you were at Mr. Strupp's apartment?
It says that the apartment was dirty with overall debris, food, and other trash all over. Kitchen had dirty dishes and food all over it. There was health and safety issues that need to be corrected. The bathtub drain plugs broken, and a reinspection would needed to be done in 14 days.
Thank you. On that day, on September 11th, did you also take photographs of the apartment?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd move for admission of Plaintiff's Exhibit 5, and that is where the court has the photographs right there.
And this is also stipulated to admissibility?
It is, Your Honor. So the defense would ask that this not be broadcast.
All right, you can ask. We're going to share it. All right, so did you take these pictures on September 11th of 2025 on that initial inspection?
Yes, I did.
Are they fair and accurate pictures of what you saw?
Yes, they are.
All right, here's the first picture. What are we seeing here?
That's the kitchen table. There's trash on the floor there, some food containers and stuff sitting on the table, and dirty dishes. This one is the kitchen counter. There is, I can only describe as like a tarry substance on the right-hand side of the counter. I don't know what's on the floor. And then again, dirty dishes and remnants on the counter and stove. That is a closer photo of the trash and things that were sitting next to the trash can in the kitchen. That is the top of the refrigerator. There is kind of a greasy film on it, and then some other items that really are not a problem. The stove and counter, that's a closer shot of the condition of. There's grease and dirty dishes and some food containers there. That is the inside of the refrigerator.
And that's dirt and grease, or that's dirt at the bottom of the refrigerator?
Yes, dirt and possibly a mold, but I did not have it tested or inspected. It just, that is the inside of the refrigerator. The dark areas are shadow, but you can see that there is some dirt and again the black spots in the freezer area with the food. That is the living room area. He has clothes and stuff piled up in the area. And that's the chair that's in the living room. There are bed bugs shown in a different photo coming up. It is hard to see in the picture, but that is the seat, and there are bed bugs and eggs in that chair. There were some live at the time. And there's also some eggs or debris on the floor. That is the bedroom, and the cot Mr. Strupp sleeps on.
Where's the cot? That black thing?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That is a close-up of the cot. It is hard to see in the photo, but over by the white blanket or whatever, there was a bed bug that you can see clearly, and there were other smaller ones around the blanket. That is the bathroom sink. It's just poor lighting. It's not, I don't know what that orange is. It's just poor lighting. Just the condition of the sink, which really isn't an issue at this point. There was no violation there, just taking a picture for documentation. This is the bathroom. The floor has something all over it. In that picture there, the forefront is a shadow, but in the back, it has, I don't know, something on the floor that is just sticky to walk on.
What's on the right? Is that the shower or a
Yes,
tub?
that's the bathtub shower, which is the next photo.
And were there feces in the toilet? Is that what we're seeing, all that brown?
Yes, that's, you can see that better in an upcoming photo.
I've seen it well
Thank you.
enough.
That is the bathtub. The, like I stated, the drain was broken, the plug, so that it doesn't hold water. And then it's just dirty.
All right, that's enough of that one. Condition of the toilet.
That is just another shot of the bedroom as I was going back out. The last photo is more of a close-up of some of the bed bugs and other eggs and things.
All right, that's the last of the pictures for Exhibit 5. All right,
And Mr. Hayden, you, after you did your inspection, what was your finding?
On the 11th, I failed the apartment and notified management that it would have to be re-inspected. I also told Mr. Strupp that it would need to be re-inspected in 14 days.
And when you say you failed the apartment, what does that mean?
It was a rental inspection. We do biannual or every other year inspections for code and health. And because of the conditions, it failed on the health side. So it would need to be re-inspected to have a certificate of approval.
And did you do another inspection in 2 weeks?
I did.
And were those the photographs that you took on October 2nd?
I believe it was the 25th I did the re-inspection.
Oh,
25th
I'm
of
sorry, got a little ahead of, yes. And did you at that time do an ordinance violation notice?
Yes,
Your Honor, Ms. Bauer and I have agreed to Plaintiff's Exhibit 6, which is the ordinance violation notice.
No objection, therefore, Your Honor.
well, let me find it. I'll stop the share. Thought it was next up. Again, that's a difficulty with not having. These are October 2nd pictures. Is that where you've got it placarded on the? All right. There were. Well, let's just use the paper copy that you got there. Well, here it is. I found it. Exhibit number 6 is ordinance violation notice dated 9/25/26. All right, here it is. This is exhibit 6. All right, well, you may inquire as to the exhibit.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Hayden, you prepared this document,
Yes, I did.
and what did you observe that you noted on September 25th?
The conditions of cleanliness were better, but there was still evidence of bed bugs and some other cleanliness issues. So under the International Property Maintenance Code and the rental ordinance, violation was issued for the sections of the tenant responsibilities, which are noted in the paragraph there.
You also noted, you said unsanitary conditions in the kitchen, in the and the bathroom.
Mainly in the bathroom, I believe, at that point. There were still some in the kitchen, but the dirty dishes and food were more cleaned up on the second visit.
Okay. And did
What's
you
the
at some
effect
point,
of this-
oops, sorry.
of this notice?
This notice gave Mr. Strupp an additional 14 days to bring the apartment back into compliance, or he was going to be issued a citation under both ordinance or under the rental ordinance.
Did you share that with Mr. Strupp?
Yes, he was given a copy.
All right, Ms. Amato, you may continue.
Thank you. Did you in fact issue a certification to Mr. Strupp? A citation?
Yes, I went back on October 2nd and the apartment still failed, so he was issued a citation.
And did you at that time also declare the unit to be uninhabitable?
Yes,
And in declaring the unit uninhabitable, did you post a notice on the door?
I did. And on the patio door as well.
Move for admission of plaintiff's exhibit 7, Your Honor, which has been stipulated to, and that is the green danger sign.
That was posted on the door,
Yes, Your Honor.
exhibit 7 may be admitted.
And Mr. Hayden, you indicated that was posted on the front door and on the sliding glass door?
Yes.
Okay, and what does that mean to you when you say that or what does that mean when you call a unit uninhabitable? What is that?
The notice on the door says it is unsafe for human occupancy or use. And under the ordinance, it also revokes the certificate of approval for it to be a rentable unit.
And what does that mean?
That means that no one can eat, sleep, drink, or otherwise occupy. They are permitted to come and go to get items, personal items out of it, or to make repairs, or in this case, remediate the cleanliness and the bugs. Or anybody can do that, but no one's supposed to be sleeping there or eating there.
And did you explain that to Mr. Strupp?
I did.
And what was his response?
Initially, when I posted it, he said he would have to make arrangements to leave. I referred him back to his ACT team and Pivotal to help him, or DHS workers to help him.
And you heard Ms. Bauer today state that Mr. Strupp is still living there, correct?
I don't know that I stated that exactly, but
Is that correct, Mr. Hayden?
That's what I heard, but so is you.
I heard it referenced that he was still at the unit. I don't remember who said what.
And okay, and that is in violation of your ordinance, correct? I'm sorry, your
Of the
certification.
Posted notice, yeah.
Posted notice, okay. Thank you. Did you then also have an opportunity to go back to the unit on October 2nd?
That was when this notice was posted and the citation was issued.
Okay. And did you take pictures that day as well?
I did.
And what exhibit is that?
Exhibit 8, Your Honor, and that's been stipulated
Exhibit
too.
8?
Yes.
All right.
and from defense stipulated.
And defense has again indicated that she stipulated to exhibit 8. I didn't know what it was at the time she represented it, but she's confirmed it. All right, are these the photographs that you took on October 2nd of 2025 at this apartment 17?
Yes, they are.
Are they fair and accurate pictures of what you saw?
Yes, they are.
All right, what are we seeing here?
This is again the kitchen counter. The brown stain is still there. However, it appears to be a stain on the counter, but there are some other food items in there, and there's a couple of cleaning items also. This is the other side of the counter. There's a few dirty dishes in the sink, and then the counter has that stain and discoloration and kind of a grease. The same with the stove. It's the pans were, I believe, clean, but the stove still is kind of has that grease on it. This, I should have made notes on it because it's a big gray spot. I believe this is the entrance to the bedroom, and there was a some kind of a stain on the very top of that photo. The bottom is a shadow, but I really can't see good on this picture. This one is the corner. You can see in the corner there were they were bugs and flies, I believe. that were in the corner by that baseboard. The refrigerator, again, has the food in it, but it still has the dirt and stains or whatever is in the bottom. This one is the chair again. There is some bugs on it. There were some live. That is not all bed bugs. Some of that is dead stuff that just wasn't cleaned up, but there were live bugs also.
Mr. Hayden, is some of that tobacco?
Some of the bigger pieces are something like tobacco. Yeah, he does roll his own stuff. This picture, I did circle the bugs that were there. That is on a jacket that's laying on that cot. And then we're back to the bathroom, and it still has that whatever sticky debris on the floor. I don't know what happened to pages 10 through 15.
So that's the end of it.
That's the end of this. Yes.
Mr. Hayden, did you cite the facility?
I did not.
Why not?
Because in my opinion as a rental inspector, they had met the safety code violations, and the problem with the apartment appeared to me to be the tenant and the cleanliness of maintaining it under the section of the ordinance for tenant responsibility.
When you spoke with Mr. Strupp, did he indicate that he wanted help?
He told me he was trying to take care of things. But everybody just wanted him to throw stuff away.
Did you notice any bed bugs on Mr. Strupp when you saw him?
I don't recall if I saw any bed bugs, but he has several bites on his arms and legs.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have no further questions.
All right. Ms. Bauer, you have questions for Chief Hayden?
I do, thank you, Judge. Hayden. September of 2025, the first time you'd ever inspected Mr. Strupp's apartment.
Was it the only time?
The first time, or had you inspected?
No, it was inspected 2 years prior.
Were the countertops stained when you inspected it previously?
I do not remember.
Is removing the stains on the countertops necessary to resolve the ordinance violation?
No, not stains on the countertop. Grease or whatever is on that, and the stove would need to be cleaned. But not. The main thing for the posting of it was the bed bugs and sanitary conditions, mainly in the bathroom.
So when you re-inspected on September 25th,
Yes.
if there were no bed bugs, is it possible the unit would have passed inspection?
Objection calls for speculation.
Well, that's his area of expertise. I'll note your objection, but overrule it.
It would have probably failed the inspection, but I don't know that I would have posted it if it didn't have the combination with the bed bugs.
Is there rusty water in Constantine or hard water?
Yes,
Is there rust in some of the water photos that we have reviewed today?
I don't know if I call it rust, but it would be hard water stain, yes.
Is it required for a tenant to remove hard water stains in order to pass an
No.
inspection? In your estimation, was some of the black on the counters and on the floors, did that appear to have permanence?
You mean on the kitchen counters?
And the kitchen floors, yeah.
Yes, I would say it's probably stained with something. The issue being it's like a tarry feel to it, because I did, the first inspection I did touch it. I didn't in the previous. It was almost like, well, there was a coffee pot there, so maybe burnt coffee or something.
And you don't remember seeing that kind of staining 2 years prior?
I do not recall, no. I couldn't say either way.
Did you provide a copy? I think you said this. You provided a copy of the inspection report to the property management.
Yes.
Did you hear from the property management company after that
Regarding the re-inspection,
regarding the unit?
yes, I set up a time to meet with them on the 25th. And then I told them I was going back on the 2nd. They did not go with me on the 2nd. And then I told them that the property was uninhabitable and he should not be staying there. The previous management.
Have you had any interaction with the current management company?
Not regarding this case, but to re-register the units, they did a register to switch as far as the management company.
And did either management company provide you with any bed bug treatment receipts?
No,
Did they provide you with any dates that they had treated
no,
the unit? And they didn't tell you they were treating the unit?
they told me that it was being, I think the word they used was steam cleaned or steam treated. And that they were in this action.
Your Honor, objection is to hearsay, what the management company may or may not have
The
said.
The management company is a party. The party statements an exception to the hearsay rule. Just
Sure.
like a party, of anything that Mr. Strupp said would also fall under the exception to the hearsay rule.
Well, it's also the management company. I don't know.
Agent,
Who is that person?
The property manager, I believe her name was Shannon.
defense would renew that if that's not a party statement, then they're not the real party in interest.
They are a party, and there is a hearsay exception for parties. Although the plaintiff can't bring in hearsay. This is the defense questioning the plaintiff's witness. So I'll allow the statements. If Miss Amato was to ask him these questions, you could object. But you're asking him on behalf of the defense as an adverse party. So for that purpose, it's not hearsay.
So just to backtrack, Officer Hayden, property management company indicated to you sometime between September 2025 and October 2025 that they were steam treating the unit.
Actually, I believe it was after the citation was issued. So it probably would have been after October. But I can't swear to what time frame. And just remember her telling me, because I wanted to follow up and ask her, you know, because I was trying to get the man back into his apartment. So I said, has it been treated yet? And they said that they were working through things. It was slated to be, and I think she called it steam treated, and that there was a plan being put in place. I don't remember the terms of that plan or what it was. But once they had notified me that there was an eviction, I backed off any further enforcement because I can't put him out. It's just an order that then nobody's supposed to live there.
Did you ever receive any receipts for steam treatment?
No. No documentation. It was only verbal between Shannon and myself.
So as far as you're aware, you have no evidence that the unit was ever steam treated in that period. And did you tell Mr. Strupp that he was being evicted?
No. I told him that this was not an eviction.
And did you tell him that it could be remediated?
Yes, I said once the bed bugs and the cleanliness was remediated, I would reinspect and then reinstate the certificate of approval.
In your estimation, would it take more than a couple of hours to clean the non-bed bug issues in that apartment?
Objection as to this witness's ability to talk about cleaning an apartment and what is his opinion as to relevance.
Sustained. I do have a question. Did you ever reinstate the occupancy permit for this apartment?
No.
So on one hand, did you tell Mr. Strupp that you were saying he couldn't live there, but it was not an eviction?
Yes, I told him he could not live there, but once it was cleaned and re-inspected, he could move back.
Did you tell Pine Valley Place they couldn't rent the property in that condition for human habitation?
I notified them that it was posted unsafe for human habitation.
Has that ever been lifted?
No.
All right, Ms. Bauer, further questions?
Did you cite any other units in your annual inspection?
Citation issued or failed inspections?
Both.
No tickets, but there were, I believe on the one, the very first one, exhibit. Number 4. They're mentioned at the bottom, 16, 17, and 24.
Do you see bed bugs in apartments a lot when you inspect? Let me rephrase. I'm sorry. Let me withdraw that question. Have you inspected apartments with bed bugs that are not Mr. Strupp's?
In this complex or anywhere?
Anyway,
Yes.
and you've seen varying levels of infestations.
Yes.
Where do bed bugs, when you see them, you most often see them by beds?
Yes. Furniture. They are to be found where a person or clothing accumulates because of the dead skin cells is what they live off, I guess. So around beds, blankets, chairs, furniture type of stuff like that.
I'd like you to look at page 5 of exhibit 8.
Which one?
8, page 5 of 8.
Okay.
You testified earlier that there were bugs in this picture.
I think I said dead flies. If I said bugs, I meant flies.
So there are no, you don't recall seeing any bed bugs on the floor in his unit?
Yes, I did, but they were by the chair. This, I believe, looking at the tile, that's tile in that picture, which you referred to on 5. So that would have to probably be either in the kitchen corner of the kitchen, by the table, or bathroom. Because that's the only 2 places that are tiled.
Did you see bed bugs in the bathroom?
No. I don't believe there were bed bugs in this picture. I think these were dead flies. Bed bugs in these photos would have been page 7. And as you pointed out, that's not all bed bugs, but there are, and they're hard to see in these pictures. And then in page 8, and the 2 of those that I circled.
You ever see bed bugs around baseboards?
Yeah, but generally there's clothing, something there for them to like hide under or whatever.
Have you ever encountered bed bugs in venting, like
I have
HVAC
not,
systems?
no.
Your Honor, objection as to relevance for
Yeah, I'm
this
not
case
clear
at
where we're
hand, if
going.
we could limit the, yeah,
It's relevant to the source of the infestation and whether the bugs transfer between units or not. Well, it's relevant to the harm of the infestation just as much as it's relevant to where they're coming into the unit and to the efficacy of the treatment protocol undertaken by the plaintiff. Because this case is about whether Mr. Strupp himself acted poorly and who is responsible for this bed bug infestation and proper remediation of it. So I believe, so the questions are relevant, but I won't dwell on them.
All right, go ahead.
Your Honor, if I could respond to that? If we're going to be asking questions about, Sorry.
Let me tell you where we are. Right now, I have enough evidence to terminate this tenancy. I don't need to go into 5,000 pages of bed bug treatment. This apartment has been condemned and declared to be unsafe for human habitation. That information was relayed to Mr. Strupp. Was also relayed to the apartment complex. It doesn't matter who started it or how it got there. this apartment is presently unfit for human habitation and has not been lifted. If I understand, the defendant continues to live there. I don't need to know how it got this way. It is this way, and he's in it. And the apartment is prohibited from renting it. He's also continuing to get bit up by bed bugs and living in a filthy environment. So I have enough evidence right now, based on the testimony that's been given regarding the fact that the apartment has been declared unfit for human habitation. The complex has been notified, it hasn't been lifted, and the defendant is still there. So I'll let her finish her cross-examination, but as far as I'm concerned, you don't need to present any additional evidence. The defendant will have an opportunity to present evidence, but I believe you've met your burden based on the testimony I've heard so far. Ms. Bauer, you may finish your cross-examination of the witness.
May I respond to that?
No, you can finish the cross-examination of your witness and then you can make your argument at the time we get to that.
Mr. Hayden, are you aware if this property is subsidized?
I believe it is, but I don't know any of the, I haven't seen any of the documentation, but I believe several of them are.
Okay. At this date and time, could actions be taken that would make this unit habitable?
Yes.
So this violation could be cured.
Yes.
And the single biggest reason this violation is not cured, or has not been cured so far, is because it is still infested with bed bugs.
Not the single. There were other,
Biggest.
it is a large one, but the cleanliness and health issues also go with it.
You indicated at your reinspection that the housekeeping issues have been improved,
Yes.
and that Mr. Strupp indicated a desire to fix the issue.
Yes, he told me he had been cleaning on the kitchen.
And has Mr. Strupp ever been hostile to you?
Not to me, no.
He's always cooperated.
Objection, Your Honor.
On what grounds?
As to relevance,
Yes, what's the relevance of it?
This is subsidized property, and the plaintiff must have good and just cause on behalf of the actions of the tenant to warrant an order of possession. So whether or not the property is livable and how it got that way is relevant to whether Mr. Strupp should be in that unit or another unit, but not relevant to whether they have proper cause to terminate his tenancy. This is a subsidized complex that receives money for disabled individuals.
all right.
They have a duty to them.
You-
He has not been hostile.
All right, fine, he has not been hostile.
The last thing I have on my list to ask you about. I guess it's two things, but is that your phone, Officer Hayden? Looking at page 9 of Exhibit 8. The toilet is cracked. Did you notice the toilet running a lot?
No.
And is it customary for tenants to be responsible for fixing broken drains?
No.
Was the drain in this complex ever fixed?
don't remember.
Did you re-inspect for a broken, you cited him for a broken drain though?
Well, initially, on the initial inspection, a broken drain was noted, yes. It would have not been uninhabitable for just a broken drain, so I don't believe I paid attention to it on the second inspection.
Okay. Did you ever receive evidence that the broken drain had been repaired from the plaintiff? Did they ever?
I don't believe so.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, anything further, Ms. Amato?
Just two questions, Your Honor. Ms. Bauer asked you about hard water and rust. You wouldn't have failed an inspection for rust, would you?
No,
Okay. You mentioned tarry substance. It's an unidentified substance, right?
you're talking about the kitchen sink, yes. I don't know what it was, just was kind
Yes.
of a, just trying to describe it, yes.
Okay. Any idea how long something has to be left in a certain condition before it becomes tarry?
I do not know.
Fair amount of time, though, would you say?
More than likely.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may step down. All right. Ms. Amato, you have an opportunity to call further witnesses. I can't preclude it, but as I indicated, I've found enough at this point from the testimony of Chief Hayden. Do you wish to call any other testimony?
No, Your Honor, I'll defer to the court.
All right, Ms. Bauer may have a different view of it. Ms. Bauer, do you wish to call any witnesses on behalf of the defendant?
Yes, Your Honor, I wish to call the property manager's witness.
All right, that would be Ashley. Is your last name Keen?
Casner.
Casner, all right.
Ms. Casner?
Just a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge.
I did swear you in previously, so assume that you're under oath here. All right, you may inquire.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Casner, who is your employer?
Superior Management.
How long have you worked for Superior Management?
I have been with Superior since September when they bought a previous property.
You are responsible for the property at 1050 Canaris Street,
Yes,
and who owns that property?
Superior Management.
And when did Superior Management take ownership of this property?
December 11th of 25.
Are you familiar with the rental accounting of the property on Canaris Street?
No,
So you are unfamiliar with with the accounts, the status of outstanding accounts for Pine Valley Place?
we are still getting the property set up and settled. So I
Who
have
would your
looked at
company is?
accounts, but
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I didn't realize you weren't done. You could go ahead.
What did you ask me?
Have you reviewed the rental records for Mr. Strupp's property?
To a minimum, yes.
Is Mr. Strupp's account delinquent?
I don't know.
Has your complex received money on behalf of Mr. Strupp's tenancy?
We have, but we have not cashed either check that we have received due to the eviction in progress.
Which two checks are you referring to?
2 checks we have received from Michiana Guardianship in the amount of $270 per check.
What months are those rent checks for?
They would have been for December and January. February, I'm sorry.
So it's fair to say that rent was paid for December.
We have received a check, but it has not been applied to his account due to the eviction that has been in place.
Did you send the checks back?
We actually have them on hold right now.
You said those checks were for 200 and change, right?
$270.
His rental rate is more than $270 though, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
Do you receive money from anywhere else for this unit?
No.
Your Honor, objection as to this line of questioning. This is not a non-payment of rent case. I don't know why we're getting into the,
I think
Who
she's trying to
pays what,
establish a
when?
park forest defense that rent was received after the notice was received, but I'm not sure where we're going.
That is exactly part of the question, Your Honor. The other part of the question is that if this property is so uninhabitable and he's not authorized to occupy it, but they are still willing to collect rent for it.
Well, she indicated they haven't accepted the rent pending the case. It's in limbo, but they haven't applied it to his account.
Which they have, the checks were tendered and they were presented
Yes.
and they were not returned. No notification. Well, I'm sorry. Ms. Casner, did you tell Mr. Strupp that you were holding on to his checks?
No.
Did you tell Michiana Guardian that you were holding on to his checks?
No.
Did you, okay. And I just want to be clear, you're holding 2 checks.
Correct.
Ms. Casner, have you ordered pest control or hired a pest control company to treat Mr. Strupp's unit for bed bugs?
Not yet. We do have an appointment with Orkin on Tuesday, the 16th, between 12 and 2 to start assessing the property.
Were you aware of the fact that this property was in violation of the Constantine Township, Village of Constantine ordinances?
No.
Are you aware of that now?
Yes.
Were you aware of that at the first hearing when it was mentioned?
Yes.
And did you contact a pest control company between the first hearing and this hearing
Yes.
for Mr. Strupp's unit? Specifically for Mr. Strupp's unit?
For his unit and all other units.
And what was your plan?
To have not only his, but the rest of the property assessed and move forward with treatment?
Have you had the rest of the property assessed yet?
No, we have an appointment on Tuesday, the 16th.
I suppose for purposes of the record, the call was disconnected and the witnesses disconnected, right?
Well, the record maintained. It didn't go on the Zoom or YouTube, but the record recorded it.
The transcript.
Yes.
I believe the question I asked when we were disconnected was, you had said you were going to have the property evaluated by a pest control company, something like that, right?
Correct.
Have you had that evaluation done?
No, it is set to be done Tuesday, the 16th.
Of February?
Yes.
By Orkin?
Yes.
Are you an on-site property manager?
Will be.
Objection, Your Honor, as to the relevance of this question.
Well, she can answer it, but you're apparently not yet an on-site manager.
Correct.
When did you become aware that there were bed bugs in Mr. Strupp's unit?
When we took over and we had went through his paperwork in regards to the eviction.
You didn't discover at that time that his unit was posted as uninhabitable?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
You didn't discover at that time that his unit was posted as uninhabitable?
It would have been probably mid-December.
Have you had a conversation with Mr. Strupp?
No. I have been to his unit to try to do so, but have had no such luck. I've actually been there twice.
Roundabout when?
I can probably give you an exact date here in just a second.
Are you going to be referencing something that has not been admitted as an exhibit?
Yes.
So you don't know off the top of your head, though.
No.
Are you looking at anything else right now?
Paperwork that's next to me.
Paperwork that's not relevant to this case?
It is relevant to the case. That's all the exhibits.
Okay, that's all you're looking at?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever draft any letters to Mr. Strupp about this issue?
No.
Did you contact Michiana Guardian about the bedbug issue?
No.
Did you ever contact anyone from Community Mental Health, also known as Pivotal,
No.
about bedbug issue?
No.
Were you made aware of delinquent accounts when you took over management and responsibility for this complex?
No.
Objection, Your Honor. This is not a non-payment of rent case. And then her general knowledge of accounts, she already testified. They're getting settled. She doesn't know about the accounts.
Was asked and answered.
Yeah, that's why I was just shoring up. making sure I shored up a loose end. So that we don't, as far as you're aware, October and November rent, you have not been told that those are not current. As far as you're aware, those are current.
I don't know.
Are you aware of steam treatment ever? Never, I'm sorry, I withdraw that question. Do you ever have any conversations with Officer Hayden?
No.
No? Are some of the tenants in this complex recipients of voucher assistance, housing choice voucher, or other type of?
Your Honor, objection is to relevance. What other tenants are eligible for?
I'll move on, Your Honor.
Sustain.
Has your company issued any documentation to Mr. Strupp about his eligibility or lack of eligibility for a Department of Agriculture, USDA, or Rural Housing Services voucher?
No.
Are you aware that this property was a rural housing subsidized complex prior to the purchase?
Yes.
Are you aware that when a rural housing complex is purchased and the loan is accelerated, the tenants are potentially entitled to the issuance of a voucher?
Your Honor, objection is to the relevance of this question, and
Yes,
it appears to
again.
be outside the scope.
They have a duty to these tenants, to this tenant, and if they have neglected their duty to notify him of an available voucher, then that has impaired his ability to mitigate the damage and the harm to the unit by vacating.
Objection is sustained.
How many maintenance staff are on site at Pine Valley Place, Ms. Casner?
Currently just one.
And is that staff full time?
29 hours.
29 hours?
29.
Thank you. It was just a video feed. No further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Ms. Amato, do you have any questions for the witness?
Two questions, Your Honor. Ms. Casner, are you responsible for Mr. Strupp's care?
No.
You indicated that you had been to his unit twice and your response was no such luck. What does that mean?
He did not answer the door. I was not able to have any verbal communication with Mr. Strupp.
Was he there?
Yes,
And how do you know he was there?
because as I walked up to the building, he was on his sitting on his patio, and he proceeded inside.
But then did not answer the door.
Yes.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Redirect, Your Honor.
Yes.
Have you ever introduced yourself to the people at the complex?
With a letter, yes.
Did you have a name badge on?
When giving the letters,
I'm sorry, that's a good question. Did you have a name badge on when you approached Mr. Strupp?
No,
Did you have a uniform on?
no,
And did you ever place a phone call to Mr. Strupp?
no. But when approaching his unit and knocking, I did state who I was.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Casner. All right, any further evidence from the defense?
The defense calls Ms. Anna Farley as a witness.
You swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief.
I do.
All right. Would you state your name, please?
Anna Farley, Farley.
Ms. Farley, are you employed by Community Mental Health, also known as Pivotal?
Yes.
And are you a social worker?
No, I'm a licensed professional counselor.
And are you part of the ACT team?
Correct. I'm the ACT team lead.
What is the ACT team?
Assertive community treatment. It's the most intensive treatment for individuals with severe and pervasive mental illness.
Are individuals eligible to be part of the ACT, recipients of the ACT team if they do not have severe mental illness?
No.
Is Mr. Strupp a participant, Mr. Kevin Strupp, a participant in the ACT program?
Your Honor, are you authorizing me to disclose?
No, I'm not. Do you have a release for Mr. Strupp to disclose this information?
We have a release on.
I have a release for his attorney, and I do have a release for district court.
All right, we'll have to file that, but yes, if you have a release for the court, you may answer these questions.
Can you repeat the question?
Is Mr. Strupp a participant in the ACT program?
Yes.
Are you familiar with Mr. Strupp's tenancy? I'm sorry, I withdraw that question. Are you familiar with where Mr. Strupp lives?
Yes.
How long has Mr. Strupp, how long have you been been on his care team?
Since April of 2021.
Have you ever been in, no. Has he had bed bugs since April of 2021?
Yes.
Have you ever received a call from Ms. Casner?
Hurt? No.
And does the ACT team, how many people are, how many pivotal employees are on the ACT team?
4.
What is the, what roles are they?
Myself, which is the lead clinician. We have another master social worker. We have a registered nurse, and we have a peer support specialist.
Were you aware that Mr. Strupp was facing eviction for bed bugs?
Yes.
Were you aware that the complex was going to thermally treat the unit at the beginning of 2025?
Yes.
Was that treatment part of a court case?
Yes.
Did you help Mr. Strupp prepare his unit for that treatment?
Yes,
Were you present when the pest control company showed up?
for the heat treatment?
Yep.
Yes,
Was his unit prepared for the heat treatment?
yes,
Have you been present for any other pest control treatment at Mr. Strupp's apartment since that day?
no,
After that day, did you become aware that Mr. Strupp was still being bitten by bed bugs?
yes,
Were you aware of any steam treatment being performed on his unit?
by steam treatment, I'm not sure what you mean by steam treatment.
Were you aware of any treatment, any non-chemical treatment performed on his unit after that initial heat treatment?
No,
Were you ever provided information about preparing his unit for non-chemical treatment after that initial heat treatment?
no,
Were you ever asked to help get his unit prepared for a treatment, a non-chemical treatment after that initial heat treatment?
no,
Are you allowed to enter Mr. Strupp's unit right now?
when you say allowed.
I'm sorry. Under the ACT team rules, under the obligations of Pivotal, are you prohibited from entering Mr. Strupp's unit?
We do not enter his unit without PPE.
What is PPE?
Our office purchased full suits, including head wraps, mask, footies for your boots in order to prevent us from taking any bed bugs home with us.
And did Mr. Strupp's situation facilitate ACT getting this PPE?
Correct, they were purchased solely for his apartment.
And has ACT or Pivotal ever worked with individuals that clean apartments or units for their clients?
Objection, Your Honor, again, as to relevance, what the ACT team does with others.
Just laying a foundation for my next question.
Well, did you ever ask anybody to clean this apartment?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
I did not personally, but Kevin did hire somebody to clean his apartment.
When was that?
2023? End of 2023 into 2024.
Now, you were aware we had a previous case in 2024. I think you've been at all, if not all, most of these proceedings. There was an earlier case in 2024, 241901 LT, which preceded this case. Are you aware of that?
Are you
I
referring?
don't mean the file number, but you remember there was another case in 2024 when we had extensive argument about bed bugs in Mr. Strupp's apartment.
End of 2024, right?
You said 241901.
241901. The case was filed in, wow. It was filed in January of 2024. And
Are you sure about that, Judge?
that's what it says here. Case file stamp 10/29/24.
Right.
Yes.
All right, date filed, and then we went through hearings all the way to January of 2025. December of 2025.
Yes, I am familiar with that.
All right,
Thank you, Benita.
yes.
Are you aware that that case was settled?
From my understanding, yes.
Paragraph 2 of that settlement says plaintiff shall, within 10 days of the date of this order, schedule an all-inclusive thermal remediation package, the primary component of which is the bed bug heat treatment from Pronto Pest Control, 1050 Canaris Street, number 17 in Constantine, Michigan, to occur no later than 30 days from the date of this order, pending Pronto's schedule. Is that, were you aware that an all-inclusive thermal remediation package was part of the settlement of that case?
Yes.
And is that the thermal treatment that you helped Mr. Strupp prepare for?
Yes.
Paragraph 4 indicates plaintiff shall provide no less than 10 days notice of the all-inclusive thermal remediation package treatment dates to the following individuals in the following manners.
Your Honor, objection as to
Yes.
relevance. That
What
case has
this
been,
is, this was the previous case where a settlement was reached. And then the plaintiff contends that the defendant breached the settlement agreement and filed a petition to reinstate the agreement, the termination. Counsel objected, saying that they didn't do these things. And so we were trying to determine how many angels could dance on the head of a pin, whether they complied with the agreement or not. So plaintiff just started all over again and filed a new complaint based on this current set of facts. So that issue had all been litigated. He signed an agreement. The plaintiff's contention was he did not comply with the agreement and they moved to terminate the tenancy. Defendant's contention was defendant didn't meet all their requirements of their side of the agreement. And so we were fighting about whether to reinstate it. So rather than fight that fight, they simply started afresh with a new petition to terminate his tenancy.
Paragraph 3 of that settlement says plaintiff agrees to simultaneously undertake any additional treatment that Pronto Pest Management recommends for Mr. Strupp's wing of the complex, i.e. for units number 18.
Now, this is a very poor witness for this. Did you ever read this document? Have you ever heard any of this before right
I
now?
have, yes.
Okay, so you were aware and helped him reach this agreement?
I did not help him reach the agreement, no.
All right, at what point did you read the document?
After it was done in court, I received it. I went over it with Kevin, so he understood it after as well.
All right,
And were you in communication with me throughout the course of that litigation?
Yes.
And to finish that paragraph, if plaintiff chooses not to undertake all recommendations from Pronto Management for these additional units, then Mr. Strupp is relieved of all financial responsibility for any reinfestation in his unit for the next 12 months. Are you aware of any other units in that building being treated?
I have been told
Objection
from
is
other
this
parties.
witness.
So you are not.
Objection, Your Honor. As to-
Just a minute, that's hearsay.
I'll rephrase the question, Your Honor. Do you have any personal knowledge? Did you ever witness anyone treat those other units?
No,
Have the bed bugs prevented your ability to help Mr. Strupp clean his apartment, or your team's ability to clean his apartment?
yes,
And between the date of the thermal heat treatment and now, today, do you have any personal knowledge that Mr. Strupp went and picked things out of the trash?
no,
Do you have any personal knowledge that he has brought other items of furniture secondhand into his unit?
no.
Your Honor, objection as to
Do you have
this
any
whole line of
personal
questioning.
knowledge that he didn't?
What I can tell you is I have observed nothing in his apartment that is new or not previously seen.
All right, that's fair enough.
And did you and your team help Mr. Strupp get rid of a lot of his personal belongings
Unfortunately, yes,
because of the bed bugs?
correct.
Was this agitating and did this aggravate Mr. Strupp's mental health condition?
Very much.
Are you currently able to place Mr. Strupp in an adult foster care facility?
Unfortunately, no.
Is that because of the bed bug infestation in his unit?
Yes,
Let me inquire that, because I wondered forever, since the start of this, why you didn't place him somewhere else. Certainly recently, when the place was condemned, did you make efforts to place him someplace else?
I am legally obligated to notify any licensed foster home that he has bed bugs, which limits their willingness to take him. I am also not legally authorized to force him. He, up until the last week, has been adamant against living in a foster care home.
Ms. Farley, you've had conversations with him about this.
Yes, many.
And you've looked for other housing for him.
We have had conversations with Kevin about his other housing options. The only options he has is an adult foster care home or another apartment complex.
Were you aware that Mr. Strupp lost his housing choice voucher?
I was made aware of a loss of a voucher. I will be honest, I didn't fully understand what that meant exactly, but I was made aware throughout this court process at some point that he did lose his voucher. That was relayed to me by the previous management of Pine Valley, and that he was going to be
Objection, Your
given-
Honor, as to hearsay. Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
Well, it is hearsay, but again, she's gonna contend that it was from the adverse party. Who's the person that told you he lost his voucher?
Shannon.
Did she say why?
I honestly couldn't answer.
All right. You may continue.
Were you ever notified that Mr. Stroop's voucher was in jeopardy?
No,
You only found out after.
correct.
Would it surprise you that he voluntarily, would it surprise you that he signed a piece of paper that Shannon handed him to sign?
That's not evidence.
Yeah,
Would
I
it
know,
surprise
it's a-
you if the moon was full tonight?
Are you aware that Pine Valley Place asked him to give up his housing choice voucher?
No,
Okay. Is Mr. Stroop on fixed income?
yes,
Will you be able to get him into an apartment unit that is market rate, meaning not subsidized?
no,
Is it fair to say that at this point in time, this is the only roof over Mr. Stroop's? I'm sorry, that's a terrible question. I withdraw that question. Is it fair to say at this time that you have nowhere else for Mr. Stroop to go?
correct.
Other than to leave him in a condemned apartment where he's getting bit daily by bed bugs. Is that correct?
Correct.
Why isn't he here today?
So I will start, sir, I'm not a medical professional. However, Kevin was recently left Elkhart General after having 2 surgeries due to pulmonary embolism. He is currently on oxygen in his home. He has developed or intensified an already existing anxiety disorder to the point where Kevin is scared to leave his apartment. He's afraid he's going to die. He's also on oxygen.
Are you aware of a risk that Kevin has metastatic cancer?
Yes, while he was in Elkhart General, I was notified that they are concerned and believe he potentially has a cancer mass on his throat. And needed oncology to perform tests to inquire about that. And unfortunately, that test did not get done.
Was Mr. Stroop deemed to be of sound mind at the time that he left Elkhart General Hospital against medical advice?
Your Honor, I'm going to object to this line of questioning. This goes beyond, this is medical knowledge and not something that an ACT CARE member, I think, is qualified to answer, how he was deemed.
So it's your understanding that he left Elkhart General under their medical advice?
Against their medical advice. He was deemed mentally stable to leave on his own. And that I can attest to.
Deemed by who?
The psychiatrist at Elkhart General.
Did you have a conversation with Mr. Stroop yesterday? Or this week?
Yes,
Did Mr. Stroop appear to be aware of his, did Mr. Stroop seem to be aware of his surroundings?
yes, he was logical, linear, and oriented times 4.
And did you have any reason to believe that he did not understand the decisions he was making?
And what decisions?
Generally, any decisions?
No, I didn't see anything that made me concerned that he was not aware of his decisions.
Are you aware of any rental delinquency for Mr. Stroop's unit?
No,
As far as you're aware, his rent's been being paid.
I normally would be told otherwise, and I have not been told. So based off my current knowledge, as far as I know, yes.
I apologize, Your Honor, this is my last question. I may have already asked it. If Mr. Stroop did not have bed bugs, would you and your team be able to help him clean the countertops?
We would try.
And you would try to clean his bathroom?
We would try.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may step down. Oh, wait a minute. Ms. Amato, do you have questions for this witness?
I do, Your Honor, a few. You indicated that Mr. Stroop was aware enough to leave the hospital against medical advice, correct?
Correct.
Oh,
That's
where'd our
for the
witness go?
psychiatrist and
Oh,
Alcor
I'm
General,
sorry.
yes.
Okay, thank you. So Mr. Stroop knowingly went back to his unit, which was already deemed uninhabitable. Correct?
Correct.
Who brought Mr. Stroop home from Elkhart Hospital?
Mr. Strupp actually took a cab.
You talked a bit about chemical treatment and steam treatment. Would you agree that you are not an expert in bed bug eradication, remediation?
Yes.
When Mr. Stroop, now you said you can't send him any place because of the bed bugs, correct?
Correct. Can I answer that question differently?
Yes.
Sure,
I
go
can
ahead.
attempt to place him in an adult foster care home. It is up to that home whether they would be willing to because of the bed bugs. Historically, it would be a no.
Did Mr. Stroop tell you that he's afraid to leave his apartment because he knows he's facing eviction?
No. It's not why he's afraid to leave his apartment.
Did you visit Mr. Stroop while he was in the hospital?
No.
If Mr. Stroop was bed bug free, you could place him?
I would have a much better option of placing him, yes. He still, at this point, would have to agree to that.
And he's not agreeing to that, is he?
Prior to a week ago, no. He is actually verbalizing that he is starting to become open to it.
So when Mr. Stroop was in the hospital, was he bed bug free?
What do you mean?
Well, he's in the hospital, right? Did he have bed bugs on him?
When he went to that hospital, yes.
Okay. Was there a period of time when he was in the hospital that he didn't have bed bugs on him?
I did not see him in the hospital, so I couldn't answer that.
Okay, But if Mr. Strupp didn't have bed bugs on him when he was at the hospital, and he would have agreed to be transferred, you could have transferred him, correct?
I would still have to notify the foster care home that his belongings, his clothes have bed bugs. And again, it would be up to them whether they would accept that.
Okay, but Mr. Strupp, just Mr. Strupp, could have been placed in adult foster care if he didn't bring any of his belongings with him, right?
Again, I would
If he
have
would
the
have
option of
agreed.
contacting them, but it would still be up to them, and I would still have to notify them that he came from an apartment prior to a hospitalization with severe infestation.
Okay, that's not what I asked you. I asked you,
I'm
If
not
he
sure she's
would have
qualified to answer that. We don't know how long he was in the hospital. I'm assuming by the time he got out of the hospital, he was bed bug free, but we don't know that. We're just assuming it. And I don't think this witness knows it either. She never went to see him. And I don't even know if we know how long he was there. I hope he was bed bug free when he left, but assuming that, no effort at that point was made to do it because he left in contrary to their advice, and took a cab and went home.
Correct.
I have no further questions, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Farley, do you believe that has Mr. Strupp's paranoid schizophrenia been exacerbated since his hospitalization?
Yes.
Is it customary for people with paranoid schizophrenia to shelter or be reclusive?
Yes.
And is it customary for them to have exacerbations in hospitalized settings?
Your Honor, goes beyond the scope of my
Sure.
cross.
I mean, counsel was asking about his mental state at the time of his hospitalization, but, and his willing return to his home. My questions were about whether his disease was contributing to him leaving against medical advice and his fear and anxiety. I think it's been established.
It's been established.
Did you ever express concern to the management company about Mr. Strupp's carpet and other?
Your Honor, again, objection goes beyond the scope of my cross.
She can inquire.
Can you repeat it?
That's not even a thing anymore, but go ahead.
Did you ever express concern to the property management company that there were bed bugs in his carpet?
I personally did not, my team did, yes.
Your team expressed to management that a concern for bed bugs in the carpet.
Yes.
To your knowledge, was that carpet ever treated or changed?
It was not changed.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Anything further, Ms. Amato?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. You may step down. Anything further, Counselor? I would note, witness Brenneman left. They got up to go into the bathroom. So she had her phone, or they had their phone. They were in the bathroom. So I put them in the waiting room. And I think she thought we forgot her, or she just got bored. She's been sitting there for 3.5 hours, and she's no longer in the waiting room, or they're no longer in the waiting room. I'm not sure what the status is. So that witness is not presently here.
That is troublesome for the defense because we have Officer Hayden, I'm sorry, they're actually standing. We have Officer Hayden indicating representation of steam treatment, and we have no other, but that there was no record or proof of it. And as far as the records I've been provided, no treatments were done, but I can't prove that to the court without that
Right.
witness.
My intention was to go till midnight if we needed to. I don't have large blocks of time. I've spent, I don't know, 20, 40 hours on this case, many court hours on this particular case. The defendant's had bed bugs since 2021. And his position, he's a victim of a careless or uncaring apartment complex and poor bed bug treatment. Their position is he's the source of the bed bugs. He is endangering everybody else in our apartment complex. He's the one that brings bed bugs to the complex. He brings bed bugs to court. We have to treat the courtroom every time he comes in here. Because of his intellectual capacity and his mental illness, he has difficulty with the everyday life challenges. And we know it's like none of this is his fault. He's not responsible for this status that's been going on for 5 years. He's riddled with bed bug bites. He brings bed bugs, as I said, with him when he comes to court. He brings bed bugs on the bus. His contention is that he got the bed bugs from there. We do know they've spent thousands of dollars in payments since 2021.
To be fair, Your Honor, he actually spent $1,500.
Yes, he spent money of his own as well. And as a practical matter, he has literally nowhere to go. And somehow he lacks responsibility for that. He does get accommodations because of his mental illness. He does live in a subsidized apartment where the rules are stricter about the ability to terminate a tenancy. The other side of the coin is everybody else in this apartment complex. My hope was in 2023 or 2024 or somewhere, they would have found it. Here's Ms. Brenneman or Miss. But it never happened. And the place is filthy. That's not bed bugs. That may encourage bed bugs, but it's filthy. Again, a function of his mental capacity and his, thank you for coming back. You've been waiting for a long time. You went into the bathroom with your camera and I put you in the waiting room. You didn't need to be in the bathroom and be here on this proceeding. You've been waiting all afternoon. Ms. Bauer has some questions that she would like to ask you. We may be here till midnight. Would you please raise your right hand? You swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief.
Ms. Brenneman, you're muted.
You're on mute.
Judge, my first question is going to be whether she's driving.
Yeah, we'll find out. I don't think she's moving, but she might be. All right, I turned it off, but it doesn't work. Can you hear it? Can you speak now?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Are you driving?
Okay. I am currently pulled over.
All right.
I had sat in the waiting room for a while and then it kicked me out. I assumed someone with the court had ended my session.
Oh, what happened is the thing clicked out because we'd been on for so long. All right, you're under oath. Would you state your name for the record, please?
Susan Brenneman?
Ms. Bauer?
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Brenneman, you work for Pronto Pest Management?
Yes.
And you're licensed to administer pest control for bed bugs?
I'm licensed by the state, yes.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I'm licensed state.
She's licensed by the state.
Thank you, Judge. So you're familiar with the best method for detecting bed bugs?
The
According to
best
your
method for
company's website?
detecting bed bugs?
According to the
I
Pronto
mean,
Pest Management. I'm sorry, Ms. Brenneman, go ahead. I didn't mean to speak over you.
Oh, yeah, I'm not understanding what you mean by that question.
According to the Pronto Pest Management website, canine scent detection is 95 to 98% accurate. Is that correct?
Yes. To the best of my knowledge, yes.
It is far more accurate for detecting bed bugs than visual inspection.
Yeah.
Does Pronto Pest Management deploy a canine force?
We have detection dogs that we use.
Okay. Are you aware of the thermal treatment that was performed on Mr. Strupp's unit at the beginning of 2025?
Yes, I believe it was done in March.
Did Pronto Pest Management ever send a canine scent detection, I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly how you said it. A scent detection canine to Mr. Strupp's unit after that thermal treatment?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Is it fair to say that would have been the best way to know if there were still bed bugs in that unit?
Possibly, but with the amount of activity that was in there previously, anything alive would have more than likely been able to be seen.
Immediately after the thermal treatment? It would have been?
Yes.
Did Pronto Pest Management issue a certificate of clearance for Mr. Strupp's unit after that thermal treatment?
No, we did not.
Because you never got rid of the bed bugs all the way.
They were never remediated with the thermal. They were not completely eradicated from the apartment after the thermal remediation.
And no steam treatment was ever performed on unit 17 after that thermal remediation treatment, right?
No, I did not perform one.
I have no further questions, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Amato?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I'm sorry, Ms. Brennan, if you can see bed bugs, do you need a dog to tell you there's bed bugs there if you can see them?
No,
Okay, so you didn't need the dog for Mr. Strupp's unit, correct?
correct,
Because you saw them. Okay.
correct.
So you said that the bed bugs were not completely removed after the thermal treatment?
Yes,
Okay,
that is correct.
and did that have anything to do with Mr. Strupp's preparation of the unit?
In part, I believe yes.
Okay, and what was the in part?
Our prep notice asks that they bag their bedding and other cloth items and remove them away from the bed and any other furniture that we are going to treat. If there are cloth items around the furniture that we need to treat, we're not going to treat it because we're not going to take a chance of getting the chemicals on the cloth items. We can't guarantee that they will launder them appropriately afterwards.
About how many times would you say you've been to Mr. Strupp's property for, has Pronto been there in the last year?
Probably 20. We were going twice a month.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
How many times in total since 2021 has Pronto Pest Management been there, if you can tell?
Probably twice a month, every month for the entirety.
How many times have you personally been there?
Over the course of the 4 or 5 years that I had been servicing the KMG properties, probably 50, maybe more.
What was the condition of Mr. Strupp's apartment from what you saw?
There were always housekeeping issues, and more towards the latter, there were sanitation issues.
Why, after several hundred attempts to eradicate bed bugs from this unit, have you been unable to do that?
The amount of bed bugs that were in the apartment, plus we believe there was reintroducement going on.
All right, thank you. Ms. Amato, you have any questions for the witness?
Yes, when you treated Mr. Strupp's apartment, did you see all stages of bed bugs?
Yes, ma'am. On more than one occasion.
Thank you.
Attorney Amato, does that conclude your questions?
Pardon me, Ms. Bauer?
Do you have further questions?
No, thank you. I'm sorry.
All right, Ms. Bauer, you have any further questions?
Do, Your Honor.
All right.
Ms. Brenneman, you testified that you treat the property twice a month, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you treat Mr. Strupp's unit twice a month, right?
Unless he was ill or not prepared for us to treat, we were treating his apartment twice a month.
Was that not part of your monthly, bi-monthly treatment for the entire complex?
I guess I'm not understanding the question.
Do you treat, that's fair, or I understand. Do you treat common areas at Pine Valley Place roughly twice a month?
No, once a month.
And you said that part of the issue was that he didn't comply with treatment requirements. But according to the heat treatment instructions that were integrated into the final order, number 4, larger fabric. Sorry, you said that he didn't cooperate with the treatment because he didn't put his clothing and linens in bags. But number 4 here says, larger fabric items, linens, towels, blankets, etc. These items should be left in the area being heated as they are likely to shelter insects. Place these items in open weave laundry baskets. Pack the items very loosely to allow for air circulation. Do not pack in plastic bags. Is that accurate?
Okay, so
for the
I
heat
didn't do
treatment?
the heat treatment. I only do the chemical treatments. So the preparation sheet for the heat treatment is completely different from the chemical treatment, and the heat treatment are different. There are similarities, but
Did you
Not
ever
far.
personally? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you weren't done. Will you say that last part again?
When it comes to cloth items, it's different for the heat treatment and a chemical treatment.
Do cloth items need to be bagged for steam treatment?
They're supposed, for steam and chemical treatment, yes, they should be bagged and laundered.
You would administer the steam to the bagged clothing to kill the
No,
bugs inside the bag?
no, we don't steam the tenants' clothing. We steam their furniture and baseboards.
Did you ever steam Mr. Strupp's baseboards?
Not that I can recall.
Did you ever steam Mr. Strupp's bed?
Not that I can recall.
Did you ever steam the chair that Mr. Strupp sits in?
Not that I can recall.
So after the thermal treatment that did not completely eradicate the bugs. You went back to treating his unit the way you had been treating it for the previous 4 years,
With chemicals, yes.
right? And just like it didn't work before, it didn't work this time.
I believe we did have lower activity directly after the heat treatment, but then levels continued to rise.
The typical lifespan of a bed bug, it's pretty long, isn't it?
I believe it's about 2 years.
So if there's a bed bug in his unit that didn't get killed, it could find other bed bugs in that unit that didn't get killed, right?
I mean, I don't know that they go looking for each other.
Okay. But they do mate with each other.
A female only has to get impregnated once in its life cycle to lay 7 to 10 eggs every single day.
So that can grow pretty exponentially, right?
Yes.
So unless they're all gone, the risk that the original infestation propagates is pretty good.
Yes.
No further questions, Ron?
Ms. Amato?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, Ms. Bauer asked you if you steam cleaned the different places in the unit. How often do you do that?
It depends on the level of activity and the cooperation we get from the tenant.
All right, did you chemically spray all those places? His bed, his chair, his clothing, or not his clothing, his bed, his chair, his baseboards? Did you chemically treat them each time?
Yes.
Of all the units at TG Pine Valley Place, how did this one compare?
The level of activity was always higher. That combined with the housekeeping and sanitation issues did not make it easier for us to treat.
Is this the worst unit in the complex?
Yes.
For 5 years?
Yes.
Nothing further. Ms. Bauer may have an additional question.
Ms. Brenneman, are you familiar with Unit 5 at Pine Valley Place?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, Unit 5 does not touch Unit 17, does it?
No, it does not.
I have a note here from the records provided by plaintiff's counsel that on April 2nd, Unit 5 crazy positive, steamed as much as possible, including sealing. Is that plausible?
That is yes.
So Mr. Strupp's unit a totally different side of the building. Thermally treated on March 21st. And on April 2nd, you brought steam to Unit 5. But you didn't make sure there was nothing else alive in Unit 17, and you didn't steam Unit 17.
No, I don't believe we steamed 17.
You said you're very familiar with Unit 5.
Pretty familiar
Right.
with it, yes. I mean, it's been a while.
Is it fair to say that Unit 5 was kind of a hoarder place?
I'm sorry, a what place?
Was there a lot of, were there a lot of belongings in Unit 5?
I wouldn't say an overabundance. I don't believe it was a hoarding issue.
Let me ask you this. What makes you so familiar with Unit 5?
I've treated it multiple times.
And at some point in time, the infestation in Unit 5 was crazy positive. At some point, the infestation in Unit 5 was significant. Let me say it that way.
Yes.
And have you ever steamed in a unit? Have you ever steamed a ceiling?
Me personally, no.
Are you familiar with the companies using steam treatment on ceilings?
It will usually be the ceiling line where the wall meets the ceiling, not the entire ceiling. If the steam gets too close to a sprinkler head, it's going to set the sprinkler off.
To your knowledge, Mr. Strupp's ceiling was never steamed.
Not that I'm aware of.
And is it customary to administer chemical treatment to ceiling areas ever?
Spray ceiling lines, yes.
How many times did you spray the ceiling line in Mr. Strupp's unit?
I'm not sure.
Did you ever spray the ceiling line in Mr. Strupp's unit?
I'm sure we have, yes.
You don't remember ever doing it.
I mean, it's been months since I've been there. I mean, we're talking like hundreds of properties that I've been to, hundreds of other apartments that I've treated since then. So no, I can't give you a specific date of when I did it.
What triggers you to spray other areas other than a baseboard?
Live activity.
So every time you've been in his unit, there's been live activity,
Yes.
but you have not sprayed his ceiling every time you've been in his unit.
Probably not, no.
How, never mind. Okay. What other areas do you typically apply chemical treatment when you're treating a unit?
We will spray the entirety of a box spring. We will spray the underside and the sides of a mattress. We will spray baseboards, door frames, window frames, undersides and insides of couches, recliners. The same thing, we will flip it over, spray the underside, the inside. We will take the back off of the recliner if it comes off and spray the individual parts of the recliner and then put it back together. We've sprayed the back of his entertainment center. Door hinges.
Just to be clear, all of those different things that you mentioned, he doesn't have those in his unit like a box spring, so you didn't spray a box spring in the last year.
Not in the last year, no, but he did previously have a box spring.
When was the last time you treated the property?
I believe it was September.
You didn't treat the property in October.
Me
In
personally,
November.
no.
Do you know the last time Pronto Pest treated Mr. Strupp's unit?
I believe it was the middle of October.
Do you interact with property management when you're on properties?
Yes, if they are on site and available.
No further questions, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything further for Mrs. Brenneman, Ms. Amato?
No, no, thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Brenneman, thank you for your patience. You've been with us almost 4 hours. I'll release you and you can go on with your day. Thank you. All right, Ms. Amato, I lost your camera again.
Oh,
You had two things on. I just have one. All right, Ms. Bauer, anything further from the defense?
No, Your Honor. Defense rests.
All right, any rebuttal from the plaintiff?
no, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, I wish I could see you, but it's time for your argument, Ms. Amato.
Thank you, Your Honor. I think I just lost power. Computers
Well, we can still hear you for what that's worth.
take to take for my other.
I misspoke. I'm sorry. I hope you're okay, fam.
I'm fine. I'm
You lost
fine.
power at your house?
No. Computer. And and was show face, the power just, I didn't plug it in. So if we want
Ms.
to take a
Amato,
minute,
for your consideration, I allowed you to appear by Zoom. And this is bad. This is poor. We can't hear you. Every other word is blanked out. Can't see you. It's not ideal circumstance. Continue to talk and see if we can still hear you.
How is that, Your Honor? Is that any better?
I guess so. Go ahead.
Your Honor, I apologize. I've never had this happen before. Your Honor, just in closing, my client is asking for a possession judgment. Mr. Strupp has obviously not complied with the cleanliness as required in his apartment. When he signed his lease, he signed a lease that said he would keep his apartment clean and wholesome, free of pests, sanitary. For at least the last 4 or 5 years, Mr. Strupp has not been compliant with that. He is actually living in an apartment which the landlord cannot rent. It has been tagged as uninhabitable. We've heard testimony today from the city inspector that it is uninhabitable. He explained that to Mr. Strupp, and Mr. Strupp, in violation of the uninhabitable provisions of that unit, is still residing there. He is residing there today. Your Honor, my humanity, I struggle with making this argument to the court because Mr. Strupp, at the end of the day, is a human being, and his situation has been thrust upon him, and this weighs heavily. But Your Honor, he is placing the complex at risk. He should not be allowed to reside there. And I understand that Miss Bauer is advocating for her client, but that is advocating for a position that is just untenable for him. He is riddled with bed bugs. He's living with those bed bugs. He's bitten. His home is unsanitary. And it is just not a good environment for Mr. Strupp, nor is it a good environment for the complex, Your Honor. I would ask the court to enter a judgment of possession.
All right. Ms. Bauer?
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Attorney Amato, for working together on this case. You and I have always gotten along quite well. This case would not have dragged on if plaintiff, whoever plaintiff is, just did its job. We heard evidence that Mr. Strupp has been living in this property with bed bugs for 5 years. The management company's pest control contract has a way of doing things that doesn't work. They did not remediate the problem entirely. Unsurprisingly, the problem sprung a light. Plaintiff is asking for an order of possession for Pine Valley Place. Pine Valley Place doesn't own the property anymore. We heard testimony that the property was sold on December 11th. This case wasn't filed until December 12th. AMG, the entity authorized to enter the lease, is not a party to this case. We have an owner that has accepted rent, certainly after the notice to quit, and apparently throughout the pendency of this litigation, they just didn't return it. That's not what this case demonstrates that Mr. Strupp.
Ms. Bauer, I'm going to give you until 5:30 to complete your argument. Otherwise, we go till
I'll be done.
6:30. So I'll see if you can be done within the next 12 minutes.
Yeah, I'll be done, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Plaintiff continued to renew his lease for 5 years. They didn't initiate a thermal remediation treatment until Kevin asked them to contract for an all-inclusive thermal remediation package that he volunteered to pay for, that he did pay for, and that was never fully executed. He was guaranteed a certificate of clearance as part of consideration for entering that contract. No certificate of clearance was issued, no steam treatment, which was promised to him, was administered. The complex continued to accept rent from him, continued business as usual. They did not identify a problem and try to fix it in any way other than evicting Mr. Strupp. We heard from Mr. Hayden that this issue is curable. That posting would not be there if the bed bugs were treated and the ACT team could help Mr. Strupp clean, which efforts Mr. Strupp, we've heard supporting testimony that he made efforts to do that. Instead, they actually did nothing after that condemnation notice happened. When theoretically, if he's not supposed to be in there and he's not in there, that's the ideal time to be hands on the ground to treat that unit. And they did nothing for that unit.
Well, there wasn't evidence that he wasn't in there, other than the time, I guess, he was in the hospital. We don't have evidence of how long that was. But there wasn't evidence that he vacated after that condemnation notice. But at some point he was out of there, because we know at some point he was in the hospital.
Yeah, not once during the pendant, not once since that condemnation notice did the prior owner, the prior management company, the current owner, the current management company bring someone into that unit to treat it in any way, chemically, thermally, or by steam. We heard evidence from the care team that they helped him prepare for these treatments. We had evidence that these treatments were administered. They charged him for those treatments. They just went about business as usual. Monthly and bi-monthly sprays, charge him, collect the money for rent, collect the money for pest treatment, and let his physical and mental well-being deteriorate. Deny him and isolate him from his care team, the only support systems that he has.
I'm still in court. No, I gotta go. Judge Pattison keeps calling me, and I'm not sure what it's about, but
You can tell him
he didn't
it's
believe
my
me.
fault.
I got Meg Bauer in here. I'm still in court.
Be like, that's a good thing she doesn't do family law.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's the crux of the argument here. They were happy to take his rent. They were happy to let him pay for the heat treatment. And they're the ones that have a duty under the state law and federal law to provide him with a safe and habitable place to live. When his unit was condemned, they didn't facilitate that unit getting treated. They didn't facilitate him, but providing him another unit or getting treatment in that unit. They proceeded to evict him. They have knowledge that he has a mental health disorder, but at no point in time did they contact themselves, did they contact his care team. And also, we heard evidence that this new company has a consult on February 16th with a very reputable pest control company. And maybe this new owner would help Mr. Strupp and actually properly treat this unit. But it's pretty clear that Mr. Strupp was not provided the same service that other units in this complex were provided. that his unit was not provided the treatment that would most effectively address these issues. He was, like everyone else, almost everyone else in society has done, ignored, or worse, denied access and to the same services that other tenants provided and received. We also, my colleague mentioned that there was harm, risk to other tenants, but we heard no testimony. We heard zero testimony of his unit causing issues to other tenants. Pine Valley Place, this new LLC owner, and KMG Management, this new property management company, they have a duty to Mr. Strupp when they accept his rent. They have a duty to Mr. Strupp when they accept his tenancy. Mr. Strupp, through his own actions, is not the reason this problem has an issue. That this unit is a problem. Certainly not in isolation. The plaintiff is not entitled to an order of possession. For that reason, the defense asks this court to either dismiss this case without prejudice, for lack of standing, or with prejudice. The plaintiff has not satisfied or established the threshold necessary to evict the paranoid schizophrenic from his subsidized housing unit. Thank you.
Thank you. This case has a long history. We spent much of 2024 and 2025 on the previous case. There was a consent judgment that was entered, and the plaintiff contended that the defendant did not comply with the consent judgment and filed an affidavit to enter the writ of eviction. Defendant was represented by Ms. Bauer. She objected to that. And the question at that point was, had they complied with the terms of the deferral agreement, not whether the termination should be terminated, excuse me. I looked in the court records, which is a part of the record of the court. The last 20 years, TJ Pine Valley Place has filed 3 summary proceedings actions. 2 were against Mr. Strupp, and there was another defendant. And I don't know what kind of case that was, but there are only 3 cases in the last 20 years by this plaintiff. 2 are this defendant. So they started over again with a new petition. And as I mentioned, and we're all aware, the rules are different for subsidized apartments. And the rules are different. There is some accommodation for people with mental illness and other physical or mental handicaps. It was alleged, both in the previous case and this one, that this has caused harm to other tenants in the premises. There were some notices in there, but we didn't get into any of that. None of it's in evidence. We do know what another apartment also had bed bugs in it. But there's a question of how much accommodation do you get? And let's assume that this was condemned because there was a gas leak and it was unsafe to be there because of a gas leak. And Mr. Strupp says, I don't want to leave. And Pivotal says, we haven't got any place to put him. I got to let him stay there because of a gas leak, or there's no heat. I don't want to leave. And I've seen this more than a few times. People will stay somewhere where there's no heat and no plumbing. Or there's a radioactive source or radon. It's not safe. I don't want to leave, and you can't evict me. So I get some accommodation to stay here and die, which is essentially what he wants. He doesn't want to leave. He's in very, very poor health. He left the hospital under the advice of medical staff, and he's here. It's condemned. It's not habitable for human habitation. The plaintiff at this point isn't allowed to rent it. And I can't. Condone's not the right word. That's close to it. I can't abide it. I can't just let him stay there in this bug-ridden apartment getting eaten up with bugs and filth and feces and grease and flies and several hundred treatments to just let him stay there and die. Now, I don't know that there's no place for him to go. Also, there's some issue of responsibility. It's though none of this is his fault. Because of his mental disabilities and his mental illness, his apartment is like this. He doesn't want it to be like this. He even paid money of his own, as you said, to remediate this. But it's a mess. I find that the plaintiff has met the burden to terminate this tenancy. And you may ask for a writ 10 days from today, which would be March the 13th. As a practical matter, I probably won't sign this order until March 17th because I don't have an order here. So I will give him until March 27th to vacate, February 27th. Any money that's being held by TJ Pine Valley Place shall be returned to his guardian. As a practical matter, you probably can't collect rent for a condemned apartment, even though he's the one that caused it to be condemned. They don't have to evict him on March 27th. They have 56 days from today to ask for the writ of eviction. So there needs to be a concerted effort to find a place for him to go. Also, Ms. Amato and Ms. Casner, he does have the right to appeal this. He has 10 days to file an appeal in the circuit court. And the circuit judge may view that differently than I do. I have now going on 3 years of experience with this particular case. So, Ms. Amato, I'd ask you to forward a judgment to me for possession. Appeal date is February 27th, and the writ date is February 27th, because I expect I will probably sign this on Tuesday. So if you email it to the address on the judgment, 3bcivil@stjosephcountymi.gov, that's on the notice. Within that time, Mr. Hayden, I'd like you to conduct another inspection on the premises and see what the current state of affairs is. You guys have got your hands full, going to try to find a place for him to go, but he wants to just die there. That's not acceptable to me. Full of bed bugs. All right, that completes this record. And we'll be
Judge, can I ask a clarifier?
Yes.
As part of your order, they're expected to return his October, November, December, January, and February payments? It's just the notice to quit was in October and the condemnation was in October. I may be-
Yes.
Okay.
All right, we'll be in recess.
Thank you, Judge.